Okay, welcome back to our Zooms, guys. I'm super excited. I hope everyone had a great summer. Thank you for being patient with Alicia, Ariella, and I. We were all kind of traveling at the same time and kids going back to school. So we are back, and we are back every Tuesday except for when we're in Hawaii. So we are super excited to kick off our Zooms for the fall with Emily Gibson, who is like total rock star. So she's been the past 2 years, she's been one of the top convention credit honors, earning the special private trips with corporate. She's already earned a lot of the shopping spree for the Emerald trip this year, and she is just like a recruiting rock star. So I actually did not know Emily, and we were paired for the opportunity of lifetime meeting with Alec this past spring. Where'd we go? Maine and Minnesota. And, sometimes when you don't know people, you're just a little bit nervous, like, how are we going to mesh? Well, that lasted all of like 2 minutes, and we just became instant friends and had so much fun. So get ready for a great few minutes, and Emily, take it away.
Thanks, Beth. Okay, so I have to say that I was super nervous to be with Beth at Opportunity of a Lifetime because I didn't know her. I had team members that had met her, and they were like, "Oh, she's so nice," but she just intimidated me. I don't know, like,
oh my gosh.
but like I didn't know you, but like
right.
You just look like tough chick, and I was like, okay. And so, and she immediately was the sweetest, easiest person to be around. And so I love you, Beth. And I'm so honored that you would ask me to be here with your team today.
Well,
I am headed to the gym after this. So I am not wearing makeup. I told myself I was not going to put makeup on for this Zoom because I was going to the gym and I was taking a shower.
That's how we always are. Just FYI, I had a dentist appointment at 8 o'clock this morning, or I would not be looking
yes.
like this. So,
yes. And if you follow me on Instagram, my handle is Emmeline the Great. And if you follow me there, you know that my life's goal is to see how many days I can go without washing my hair.
And I love her for that.
So I am on day 7 today.
Woo!
And I literally, for the last 3 days, have just woken up and brushed my hair. So we call everyone, all my friends say that I have magic hair because it just is like a fine wine. It just kind of gets better with age.
With the dirt. I never washed before 7 days. So, it's all good.
Yeah. It's like the best. So anyway.
Things you learn on our Zooms, don't wash your hair.
Yeah, don't wash your hair. But anyway, so that's a little bit about me and how I've branded myself on Instagram. And I'm going to talk a little bit about some other ways that I have branded myself on Instagram so that you can utilize that platform in a more effective way. Because I think that some people are trying to treat Instagram like Facebook, and they are two completely different platforms. And if you don't understand how to use them differently, you're not going to be able to get as much out of it as you want. In a simple way, what I like to think of in my mind is Facebook is for my friends and family and work. Instagram, it has a different boundary, and then it has less boundaries in a lot of ways at the same time also. So on Facebook, the things that I share are things that are I'll share like 20 different pictures in an album from my daughter's baptism. I'll share pictures that are not really pictures that would speak to anyone but me, but I'll share them there because I want my friends and family to see something. On Instagram, though, with that platform and the way that one picture will determine whether or not someone is going to stop and see what you've written or move on can determine everything. So in this respect, I don't want anyone to become too scared to post anything because you don't know what to post, or you don't think you have the perfect picture, so you post nothing at all. My advice to you with Instagram is to just have an awareness of how to use the platform and just be constantly practicing. Because even as someone who, I've been on Instagram for 7 years, and it has changed multiple times in those 7 years. When I first started, I only followed 10 people. I would check it once a week. I loved that it was a place where I could just see my friends in a smaller platform than Facebook. Now, it is turned into something totally different for me. And a lot of times when you use your social media account in the way that I have used it, you might get some pushback from your family and friends who know you really well, because on Facebook, most people brand themselves as family and friend. But on Instagram, if you brand yourself as family and friend, you're not going to stick out and attract others to you. Part of your brand can be your family. Part of your brand can be that you're a friend, but it's the way in which you present it that's going to make you powerful there. So this is a hard concept to understand, because I remember when I first started learning about using Instagram in this way in January, because I had always had my Instagram account. It was always public. I was a blogger for 10 years before Instagram came on the scene. And so I'd always just had a public platform that never made me nervous. I would encourage you to also open yours to public and switch it to a business account. The reason why it's free to do that, the reason why is because once you have a business account on your Instagram, you can then view analytics about your account. You can see how many people, I'm sorry, my little boy is supposed to be locked in a room with his dad, but he's probably going to get loud here. I'm sorry. So, once you have it set to business, you can see how many people are stopping and reading your posts, how many people are engaging with your posts, and you can also see how many people are stopping and engaging in your stories. And why would that be important? Well, because even though most of my recruiting on Instagram comes through interaction in my stories, at the end of the day, I'm getting double, if not triple, the engagement and views on my main feed. So, and how do I know those numbers? Because I have a business account and I can view those insights. It's just extra information that helps me to see, wow, that post did really well. Wow, that was a total bomb. What did I do differently on those 2 posts that I could do better next time? So the thing that I see happen most with people on Instagram is they will say, oh my gosh, like nobody's engaging with my posts. I'm just not good at Instagram. But what I have always done in this platform is said, wow, I got tons of comments on Facebook on that post. I put the same thing on Instagram and nobody commented, and I got very low likes. So then I look and I say, okay, I'm not engaging people the right way on this different platform with what they're looking to find. And so then I sit and I think, where was a post where I got a ton of engagement and a ton of interaction? Typically, it's when I've added value, or I have written something that's really relatable, or I have been vulnerable about something that is a struggle. And I always say this, if you've seen any of my calls before with other people, I always like to talk about this because I love Brene Brown and I think she's such a genius, and it applies to social media in a huge way. And that is that when we look at other people, the first thing that we are looking for is for them to be vulnerable with us. But then when we present ourselves to others, that's the first thing that we are sheltering and closing off, and the last thing that we want others to see. Now, I'm not saying that you should, on your social media account, be sharing every bad thing that has ever happened to you. And there are certain things that I will never share on social media, because not everything fits my brand. And not everything is appropriate to share on social media. So what does that mean, and what does that look like? I have taken my Instagram account from 1,400 followers in January to now 7,600 followers in August. I only share that with you because I want you to see that because I changed the way I branded myself on Instagram, I have attracted more people. That being said, it does not equate to more enrollments and a better business. I built my team to diamond with about 500 followers on Instagram. You do not need to have tens of thousands or even 5,000 people following you to build a business. So release yourself of that lie because it's not a thing. In fact, the people who I see do the best in network marketing are people with 500 to 800 followers on Instagram. So why would I want to build my Instagram account to tens of thousands of followers? My goal this year was to take my account to 10,000 followers because once you've achieved that, within the story function of Instagram, you will have the swipe up function. And if you have the swipe up function, then in the stories, you can set your website, your Plexus website, as a link to order. And in one swipe, you can order from your website and people will impulsively do that. And I thought, I want that. And maybe it would bring me a little bit more business. And wouldn't it be fun to see if I could do this? That's my personality. I love to do things that other people think are impossible. I love a challenge, I love a goal, and I love hitting a certain number. So for me, that has been one of my 15 goals that I've had this year, right? And the reason why I share with you, well, why does she want that? Because I always tell people that it shouldn't be your goal to attract more followers to have a better business, because you can have a better business right now without it. It's not going to be, oh, if I have this many followers, then I will. That's a lie. It's an absolute lie. And if you're telling yourself that, no more. No more. Okay. So I'm going to talk to you today about how you build a better brand on Instagram and how you monetize that and turn it into more customers and ambassadors, whether you have 500, 1,000, or 10,000. It's the same thing with all the numbers. And you can be someone that has 500 followers who's enrolling 10 people a month, or you could be someone with 10,000 followers who enrolls one person a month. The difference is that it's the person who does the things that I'm going to tell you who monetizes it the very best. Okay, so number one, add value. Add value is the biggest thing on social media. We all have been hearing it from every which way this year, and you're probably wondering, what do I add? How do I add value to people's lives? Because you might not even realize the things that you have to offer that could help someone. So things that I first did when I was figuring out how I was going to add value in a new way were, okay, what are the things that I just really love to do that I know things about? Well, I love to cook. I've always branded myself as a cook, even when I was a blogger, before Instagram and Facebook existed. Even before there was such a thing as internet, I was branding myself as a cook. When I was 15, I loved to bake. Everybody knew that I loved to bake and I was going to bring a treat. So there are things in your life that you've always done. And I want you to make a list today of the things that you have always loved to share with others, whether it be the pie that you bring on Thanksgiving every year, or the braid that you do on your daughter before she goes to sleep at night with wet hair, or the simple family traditions that make you feel safe and loved and accepted in your own family. There are things about your life that are special. And when you hone in on what they are and share them with others, that adds value. So you already have that list and it's going to look different than mine. So when I share my things that I am going to do today, I don't want you to say, I'm going to become a cook. I'm going to become a hair person. No, you be yourself, because you're only going to add value authentically if you gather the things that are already important to you in your life. Okay, so cook. I love to share recipes. Before Plexus, I was a walking sweet tooth fairy advertisement. I always created new desserts. I loved to make things for my kids before they came home from school. I loved to make dinner every night because as a stay-at-home mom, it was the only time in the day when I could create something. And it helped me feel like I had done something of achievement in my day. So I love to share those recipes with people. So that was a very easy transition for me on Instagram. The other way I have branded myself with food is I have a television show that I do monthly on a morning show here in Utah called Good Things Utah. And so I have branded that I will show you the behind the scenes of that show each time I go. So I'm not just going to the show, but I'm showing you the behind the scenes of the show each time I go. You don't need a television show to do this. This is just an idea. For example, maybe you are going to, maybe something that you really love to do is sew. And maybe you only show the finished project of your quilt or your blanket or your apron or whatever it is. But what if you showed consistently over 12 months the different projects that you do, but you show the mistakes along the way. And maybe you share a deep thought that you had about how sewing is just like life, right? So you have these storylines that you're constantly intertwining with everything that you're doing in your life. Does that make sense? Yes? Okay. So cooking, the other thing, and I don't know why I didn't think of this before, you guys, but the second way that I've branded myself is hair. Like, people see me coming. When I was at convention this last year, it was the last night of convention. I was so exhausted and I didn't want anyone to see me coming back into the hotel. So I put my husband's hat on and I was walking through, and you guys, you could not see my face. And people were like, "Oh my gosh, it's Emily Gibson." And my husband's like, "It's the hair. We got to put the hair up," right? Because and it was like midnight on the last day of convention, like way after the concert. We had gone to Shake Shack and I was like, I just want to go in and go straight to my room. I'm so tired. And like, people saw my hair coming from a mile away because I branded myself with my hair. Why? Because at the age of 8, I taught myself how to French braid my best friend's hair, because my mom used to French braid my hair every day for school, and I wouldn't watch it in the mirror, but I would sit there and I remember how it felt on my head, how to do it. And so when we were 8 years old, I made my friend Anne Marie, who's now a gold ambassador on my team, sit down, and on her beautiful Korean hair, I taught myself how to French braid. And then after that, I taught myself how to do a French twist because I loved the way my mom did French twists in her hair. So I'd practice on myself. And then as I got older and we were in high school, I would offer to do my friend's hair for prom for free. And I would sit and I would make up different hairstyles. I've been doing this my whole life, yet I've never shared any of these things on Instagram or Facebook or anything for that matter. But people have always said, "Oh my gosh, your hair always looks so perfect. How do you get your hair to do that?" And I thought, well, I should show people this. Instead of just telling them in messages, I should show people. So then one day I posted a picture, I think this was back in March, of me with my hair done. And I said, "Hey, how about we go live in my story today and I show you how to do my hair?" And for 22 minutes on an Instagram live, I did my hair. And you guys, I've never had so much engagement from anything ever. And I thought, this is so boring. Why would anyone want to watch me do my hair? Right? But it's because I I mean, I've done it this way for 10 years. And I just tell people, okay, when you do it like this, you're going to have to curl the ends like this. And you need to put hairspray here. And then you're going to need dry shampoo here. And then that turned into a 7-day challenge with Timmy Yancey on not washing your hair. And we gathered all these fun facts about how to make it so your hair's not oily or greasy, or when you sweat at the gym, and blah, 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 blah. Right? So there was all of this content within me that I thought was just like, I do my hair every day and I do a braid on this day when it gets like people want to know these things because they want, when they wake up in the morning, they're thinking, gosh, do I really have to wash my hair today? I'd rather go be with my kids, or I'm too busy, or whatever. So, so there are things in your life that you're already doing that are making your life easier. How can you share that on social media? So again, I want you to make that list of 5 things that you do really well in your life, or things that make your life easier. Like, what are your tricks for the other thing, like for food? I love to tell people little hacks with food. So I put tinfoil around an onion that's been chopped, because the tinfoil locks the stinky onion smell in and it won't stink up your whole fridge. Did you know that? Or did you like learn this amazing thing today when I shared this with you? The first time I learned that, I was like, this is life changing. Okay. So it's just like little things that you can bless people with. But if you share random things all over the place, you're not creating a brand. So as you are creating and developing your brand, just know it might feel awkward and people might be confused and not understand what you're doing. And it may also appear that your priorities have shifted. And that's okay, because I'm here to tell you that because it looked like my priorities shifted, and because I was a little bit in random chaos while I was trying to find my footing, through all of that, I have found a very strong brand on social media. And that is adding more content and creating more community than anything I've ever done online before. And that feeds my soul in a way that I did not anticipate. So, cooking, hair, and I am trying to make a better effort of branding myself as gut health. You would think that this would be a no-brainer, but I know I'm not truly in that brand yet. And in order for me to do that, I have to make and create more content and more value around gut health, and it cannot be all plexus. And that's the thing that I think it's hard for people to understand, is that if you're going to add value to someone's life and you want plexus to be a huge part of that, plexus can be your brand. It can be one of those branches of your brand, but there's got to be something else that is blanketing it around it. Otherwise, you're just going to be another girl selling something on social media. And you want to stand apart from that, because what you have to offer is going to change someone's life. And the picture that you put up and the story you tell and the way that you share with authenticity your story is going to resonate and connect with people. And that's what's going to get them to buy from you and not someone else. I have people tell me all the time that the main reason why they buy from me is because no one has ever questioned, is she still doing plexus in 3 years? There's never a time where I have just stopped posting about plexus, or stopped working my business, or stopped moving that needle forward. As one of my senior rubies, my sister always says, just move the needle forward a little bit each day, right? So what does that look like? Well, it means that when my uncle, who was like a father to me, dies, and my son starts going through therapy for autism, and my grandma, who's one of my best friend, passes away all in the span of 2 months, it means I keep working my business. It means that I show up to work every single day, even though I don't feel like it, and I share what those things that I'm going through are teaching me about life and the world, and how while my pink drink doesn't fix it all, man, it sure wakes me up in the morning and gets me going. And you can literally make a Plexus post that has nothing to do with Plexus that brings more business to you by sharing it in that way. So, for example, when my son in July was first starting to be looked at for autism, it was the same weekend that my uncle died, was passing away, and he was like a father to me. And that weekend, I didn't want to post anything on social media. Nothing. I had so many feelings, so many emotions. And I did not go on social media and say, oh my gosh, this is the worst weekend ever. They think Dean has autism and my uncle's in the hospital dying and I'm fighting with my friend and my life sucks. No, I did not go say that, even though I could have, and people would have rallied around me and I would have received a huge outpouring of support. Instead, the way that I wrote about what happened to me that weekend was I wrote a post that talked about how important it is to tell the people that around us who we love and admire the things that we love and admire about them before they are almost gone. And I encouraged people that when we look at the people around us who we admire, do we tell them the things that we love about them? And I talked about how I thought it was so weird that it took me until the day before my uncle died to say all the things that I loved about him. He knew that I loved him. I saw him all of the time. And I always told him, I love you, you're the best, you are amazing. But the day before he died, I had the most amazing 2 hours with him alone where I said, I love you. Thank you for everything you've ever taught me. You've meant so much to me. You sacrifice for people around you. And without you here, there are people who are going to truly miss the legacy that you've left. And when you did this for me, it made me feel this way. And when you were there for me on this day, it meant so much to me. And it was like all the things that I had just never really said to him, I was able to say to him. And on social media, how I talked about that is I said that, why do we wait why do we wait to say these things at people's funerals? Why can't I look at Beth and say, Beth, you are the most gifted person at putting people at ease when they are around you. I love the way that you are totally invested in the conversation when I'm sitting by you. I love how you ask me how my day was yesterday, and you're so thoughtful. And why don't we just say these things to people? Why do we just think them? And so I turned it into this, I challenge you to tell someone today what they mean to you. And it might feel vulnerable and it might feel scary, but will you do that in honor of my uncle? And you guys, I got hundreds of messages from people who watched me pour my heart out about this in my stories, and they blessed other people's lives because of it. So I added value through my trial and my struggle, and that blessed hundreds of people. And those were just the hundreds that messaged me. That I don't even know how many I'm sure there were so many more who didn't share with me because maybe they're introverted or it's too private or they're shy or whatever. So as I connect with people in these moments of trial and struggle and happiness, I mean, I share my happiness on social media too. There's so many fun things that we can share. Like yesterday when my kids went back to school and I got in the car and I was like, had my sunglasses on and I wore my best day ever shirt, my Disneyland best day ever shirt. And I was in the car and I was like, do you hear that? Do you guys hear that? No, you don't, because there's no one here, because the kids are in school and everything is amazing. And it's those experiences, those raw experiences of what you're really going through without a filter, that give you connection with others on social media. And when you have connection, you have influence. And because you're building relationships by sharing your true, authentic life, I am not the mom that cries dropping her kids off at school. I'm literally doing high kicks and cartwheels as I'm running out the door. And so if I want my life to look perfect, and I think that good moms make a post about how they're so sad that their kids are going back to school, that is not going to be authentic to me. That is going to be authentic to my sweet friend Amy, who I secretly think is lying when she says she's crying that her kids are going back to school. And I'm like, girl, that cannot possibly be true. Because if I homeschooled my kids, they'd be illiterate or dead. And I used to be a school teacher. My degree is in elementary education. I am a school teacher, you guys. And I woke up one day and was like, I don't like kids. Like, I mean, I like them when they're sleeping, and I like them when they're at school, and I like them one-on-one. But man, I had 4 kids in 7 years, and I was like, holy crap, what did I do? And I love my kids. I have so much fun with them. I love to do adventurous things with them. But I just struggle with the fighting and the arguing. I'm an only child. I am an only child who had 4 kids in 7 years. And sometimes I just sit and go, is this normal? Is this supposed to be this hard? Like, are there moms out there who really teach their kids to not fight? Because I'm failing, right? And so it's okay to express how you really feel. It's okay. And you can love your kids and love being a mom and still really enjoy sending them to school. And you can still really have it be challenging. Like, sometimes I have to play the Rocky theme song before I go pick my kids up in the carpool lane. Because I'm like, okay, I can do this. I can do this. And so on my Instagram story, I've like played the Rocky music on my hands-free thing. And I'm like pulling up to the school, and I'm like, we got this, guys. Got this. We're in this together. Because you know that you are not the only one who feels this way before they go pick up their kids from school. And there have been times where I have not been in that space, where I am like super not overwhelmed, where I'm like the opposite of that. But I'm going through a phase right now where my 4 kids all together overwhelm me. And it doesn't mean my products don't work. And it doesn't mean that my health story isn't true. And it doesn't mean that I'm a bad mom. It just means that, man, we are going through a phase in our life with our kids right now that is really hard, because 4 kids is a lot of kids. It's just a lot of kids. And there are really beautiful moments in that. And there are times where I just want to pull my hair out. So share all of it and be authentic. And that will connect you to the people who are following your story. So when you come to my Instagram account, what you're going to see is you're going to see someone who loves to show you all the different ways that she does her hair. She loves to tell you how long she just went without washing her hair. And I also love to share with you how I don't even really take a real shower. I literally squat like a woman in the caveland times. And I just like splash water and soap all over myself, because even just putting my hair up in a shower cap sometimes feels like too much work. And if I get in the actual shower, I'm going to stand there for 15 minutes, and then I should have just washed my hair while I was in there, because I just wasted 15 minutes of my life in the shower. Where if I just do a quick little, no kidding, 60-second spritz with soap and hot water, I get warm, I feel clean, and my hair stays looking great. Because I might not have makeup on, but gosh, when I die, my hair better look good. That is the only dignity I want in death. Is having my hair look good. And when my grandma passed away 2 weeks ago, I just wrote her obituary 2 nights ago. And when she passed away, the only thing she wanted was, she was just like, Emily, does my wig look good? Does my wig look good? And I thought, It's never going to end. I'm going to want good hair even when I die. So share those funny things. Like I'm going to write a post about my grandma this week talking about that. And it's going to tie into my brand, which is hair. And it's going to make people laugh because I know that there are women out there who care about hair just as much as I do. And there are other women who don't, who think it's ridiculous that I care this much about my hair, but they still think it's entertaining to watch. Because how can someone care so much about their hair? Right? It's still relatable either way. And so there you're going to find cooking on my Instagram. You're going to find the hair thing. You're going to see me post about that pink drink that changed my life. You're going to see how I keep it real. And you're also going to see me make my life look perfect. And I hope that you also know that when you come to me, that in all of that perfectness, I'm going to share with you the real story behind the perfect picture. I'm going to show the picture of my lip swollen up so big and my eyes are literally glossy because I have been crying for an hour because in my son's therapy that day, he whacked his head into my lip and it made my tooth grow through my lip. And I was bleeding as the speech therapist was like, "Are you okay? Your lip is bleeding." And it was so embarrassing. And in that moment, I felt like I was a failure of a mother. Because did I let my son watch too much TV? Have I not read to him enough? Did I do this to him? And those raw feelings of embarrassment and shame are relatable because you've all felt them. Whether you're a mother or not, you've been in that moment. And when you share those moments with others, they connect to you. It creates community. The other thing that I have branded myself with that Amanda is just reminding me of is the tinkle. It's not going potty, guys. It's shaving your face. And it is one of my favorite things. I will literally stop strangers in the airport and ask them if I can shave their face. I carry tinkle razors in my purse, and I held Jessica Heffley down in the airport food court and tinkled her face without her permission when we were on the way home from Over Yonder Key. And Rob video filmed it all. And it was one of my greatest life moments because her face was so furry and amazing. And I just collected all the fur on a little napkin. You guys, you're looking at me like you don't know what the tinkle is. And I'm about to change your life. I want you to go to Amazon Prime today. And I want you to type in tinkle, not twinkle. That is an imposter and it doesn't work. Tinkle. This is probably the stupidest name ever of any product ever created. Tinkle. Tinkle. You can buy a 3-pack. You can buy a 6-pack if you're really committed. Go for the 6. It's totally worth it. And then you can go watch my YouTube video of how to tinkle your face. It's on my YouTube channel. You can watch Michelle Money's video. Hers is good too, and it's way shorter. It's like only 5 minutes. But I think mine's better. But and Michelle Money is a friend of mine. If you know who she is, she used to be on Bachelor, and I met her because she was a co-host on the TV show that I do at Good Things Utah. And when she found out that I had never tinkled, she ran me down on live television and tinkled me on live television, and then told me that I was wearing the wrong color makeup and that I needed to get a makeup and be in her makeup class. And you guys, I did. I was in the wrong shade. I looked orange. And I shared that with my audience. And that connected me and made me relatable because you all have done that before, right? You've been in the wrong makeup color. You've put on too much blush. And what was she thinking when she wore that orange lipstick, right? We've all done it, whether we were 12 or 25 or 45. We've done something like that. So a tinkle is so important for you to use, you guys, because you have hair on your face. And I can see Beth's right now shining through. Her face is backlit, and I wish I could shave her through the infosphere right now. But it's just a little razor. It's just a little razor. And you just hold your face back and you shave off the peach fuzz. It will not grow back black. It will not grow back spiky. You only have to do it once in your whole life, and then you never have to do it again. Or you can do it 2 to 3 times a week or once a month. It's not a commitment. It will not grow back black. You see all the objections I've had from people. I've had them myself. I get it. So it might take you a month to try it. It might take you 6 months. But the one thing that I see of everyone that I tell about the tinkle is that they wish they would have done it sooner. So don't let this be like Plexus. Don't let this be like that. Nobody's making money off of you going to buy this tinkle. Go buy the tinkle razor and watch a video and do it. You will love it. It makes your makeup go on smoother. It exfoliates your face so that when you're 85, you will look 35. Okay, not really, but you will have really great skin. And if you put Joy Ohm on top of it, you're going to be in business, ladies. Okay, so I hope that you have seen the way that I have built my brand on Instagram. I hope that you better understand the platform of Instagram. It literally took me about 6 months to understand the platform the way it is now than it was a year from now. There was a huge shift in the platform I would say last year in general. And the people who are figuring out how to brand themselves, how to create these storylines, are finding that they're attracting more like-minded people, and they're adding more value, and they're creating a community. Love on the 500 people that you have, the 100 people that you have, the 1,000 people that you have, as if you had the number in your mind that you think you need. Just create that community now. And what I want to segue that into is where you are in your business right now. Whether you are a silver ambassador, a gold ambassador, a senior ruby ambassador, an emerald, I want you to love on your team as if you are diamond already. I want you to treat that team like you are a diamond ambassador. I want you to work your business like a diamond ambassador. There was a video series, I don't know if you got to see it, that I did. It was Work Like a Diamond, part 1, 2, 3, and 4. Some of the days I did my hair, some of the days I was in my jammy without a bra on, some of the days I had no makeup on, and I wish I would have, because I've seen how many people have seen them, and now I'm like, girl, probably could put on some blush before you went on that video. So you can look in those videos and you can see what it actually looks like to work your business like a diamond. And you can work right alongside me and see how I write my messages and everything. Because the fact of the matter is that what you do as a silver, that's what makes you a diamond. What you do as a gold ambassador, the daily actions you do as a gold ambassador, is what makes you a diamond. And the whole point of the Leaders Retreat contests and the convention contests is for you to achieve the highest prize that you can possibly achieve, because at the end of the contest, it is set up for you to rank up. When you earn the Leaders Retreat cruise, I guarantee that's going to equate into a rank advancement in the next year because of the work that you do in the contest period. And so maybe the cruise itself is not motivating to you. Maybe the shopping spree, or I don't know how that can't be motivating to women, but I do know some that it's not. That's not my brand. My brand is I love to shop so much that I sometimes find 15 boxes on my porch, and my husband's like, what is this? And I go, I don't even remember, but I remember ordering a few things on Instagram. I'm excited to open them and remember what I bought. I'm sure it was not that expensive, because everything's like $10, $5, $20, except that one time when it was more than that. So just know that when now I lost my train of thought. Beth, what was I saying?
You were talking about how the contests are geared for you to rank up.
Yes, the contests are geared for you to rank up. So if the shopping spree doesn't motivate you and the cruise doesn't motivate you, what should motivate you is that by earning that top prize, being on the ship, the whole point of you earning that is because corporate knows that when you achieve that, you are going to have that next level paycheck that is motivating to you. You're going to have that team of people to help that are motivating to you. So I really want you to look at these contests differently. And if you are sitting at 400 points today, you can still earn the cruise. You guys, I told one of my level ones yesterday with 200 points that she still had a chance. Because in the last week, I have seen 3 people who were at 150 points, 200 points, 300 points, earn the cruise in the last week. A month ago, I wouldn't have believed that. But I'm seeing it now, and they're making videos saying how they did it, and I'm sharing them with my team, and people who weren't even trying have earned it because they're doing what the videos are saying. So it is actually possible. And in July, I took 4 weeks off this summer. This is the last thing I'm going to share, and then I'm going to be done. I took 4 weeks off this summer. From June until now, I literally didn't work for 4 weeks. Like, I had no contact with my team or anyone work for 4 weeks, not in a row. There was convention for a week. There was Over Yonder Key for a week. I went to the lake house with my kids for a week. I forgot I went to Disneyland for 5 days and Arizona for 2. So it was 5 weeks. I took 5 weeks off, you guys. And then I took my daughter to Paris for a week. So out of the last 10 weeks, I have not worked for 5 of them. And in July, I thought, man, I hope I just earned the $2,000 spree. This might be the first year that I don't earn this shopping spree. Like, how can that even happen? Because my team was we just were not as in momentum and pumping as much as we were. And then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, things changed. And I earned the 2K spree, and then a week later, I earned the 4K. And you guys, I wouldn't put it past my team to pull out the 10K at this point because there's so much momentum right now. And what I'm telling my team is, you work until the clock says September 1st. Because there are people who have earned the cruise who are not going to be able to make it. They're not. My husband has earned the cruise, and he's not going because he's going to go to Maui with me. So he's technically holding one of those spots. And I know there are plenty of other people in this company who have earned a spot that are not going to go. There's going to be people who realize that they can't get work off, or something comes up and they can't make it. You want to gain your spot of ending the month with 900 credits, no matter what. And I don't know how many spots are left. Corporate is not sharing that with us. I really believe that the boat is not full yet. I feel like at the end of the month, I don't know this for sure, but I'm just sharing with you by speculation on experiences that I've had in the past, is there's typically a wait list. So if let's say the boat does fill up on the last day of the month, then they're immediately going to keep track of who comes in at what time. And last year for Leaders Retreat, they opened up. Misha told me, she's the events planner, told me that they got convention tickets. When they were like, convention sold out, get on the wait list. And people were like, oh, it's not worth it, I'll never get on. You guys, they cleared the entire wait list. And everybody that wanted to go that was on the wait list got a ticket. That is what Leaders Retreat and getting on that boat is going to be. I really believe they're going to clear that wait list. So right now, the boat is still open. But if on the last day you hear, oh, the boat's full, you are going to just fly right past that. That is not going to affect anything. It's not going to slow you down. It's not going to put you in a lull. It's not going to make you sad and depressed. You're going to be like, check, keep moving on. Heard it, next. Because you know that you are earning your spot. You are not ending the month until your credits say 900. And once they say 900, girl, if there's 2 days left, you better be working for that cash. Because once I hit the goal. I didn't even anticipate that I would hit the $4,000 spree this year. Because I have taken 5 weeks off, you guys. That is time freedom. That is what being a diamond ambassador can serve you when you have a team and momentum. That is working through deaths in my family, struggles in my immediate, with my children, being tired, feeling overwhelmed, traveling. That is how you create momentum, is you move the needle forward every single day. You move the needle forward even though you think you can't do it, even though you think you can't make it. And I'm so excited to watch you do that because I know every single one of you are capable of it.
Agree. Hey, can I ask you a couple quick questions real fast off of this? Okay, because I know that you need to go, but one, so, and I know we've talked, well, actually three, and then I won't ask anymore. You do a ton of Instagram stories. Do you do, like, is there like a balance? Like, I mean, y'all, when we were walking around Maine, like literally, she was teaching me because I'd never even done an Instagram story, and I'm still not great at it, but she is proud of the work that I've done.
Very good. It's very, she's doing great, you guys. Why are
but
you
I don't do it enough because
stories?
it still scares me. I'm one of those that she's talking to. It still scares me. But you do way more Instagram stories than you do just Instagram post, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
I only post once a day on Instagram. And if I'm going to post twice, it's literally because my grandma died. And I've already posted that day, and I need to post that my grandma died. Like, it is extreme to post, for me to post twice on Instagram. And that is just because of the way that the platform is. You are going to get more exposure if you post just one time. If you post more than one time, you're competing with your own self. And if I'm looking at someone's account and I'm thinking, am I going to take the time to lift my thumb and like that post? Like, that's how lazy we are, you guys. Like, oh, it's so much effort to double tap. Oh my gosh, this is so hard. But like, it's true. And if I'm going to take the time to sit and double tap on a picture, if I see the same person, even my best friend, if she posts 3 times, I'm probably only going to like and comment on one of those posts. And everyone else is probably going to follow that same trend. If you are not getting likes and comments on your posts, it's just putting your post at a disadvantage for people seeing it. And so I always want my post to be seen as much as possible. So I post less and I try to get interaction and engagement, and I focus on that one post each day to do that.
But then, like, how many times do you post on stories? Like,
it's like I vomit in my stories all day.
I mean, it's all like, literally, we were like walking down the street and she's like, I'm taking a story of the brick. I'm taking a picture of you walking. I'm taking a picture of that. I was like, holy cow, like, she does. And like, somebody or Ariel, she's not able to be on here today. She's at a house meeting, but she's like, I'm obsessed with watching her stories. And so it's like this whole, so that's how you're getting your followers, is through your stories, right?
I'm like, if I can get them to follow me, I can connect with them and keep them around within 48 hours. And that's really, that's because I just share my life. I try not to filter it.
Right.
That doesn't mean that I'm doing videos with my phone from down here. Girl is always up here.
Okay. Always.
Good, better, best.
Yes.
Good, better, best.
Okay. And then this, on the same note, do you cold message through Instagram? Like, do you reach out to people and say, or how are you getting your people you don't know, your, new customers and ambassadors through Instagram? How does that work?
I've done it in several different ways. When I really started to monetize my Instagram 2 years ago, every single time that someone would follow me, I would reach out to them and I would send a message introducing myself. And I got some enrollments from it, handful, maybe 4 or 5 enrollments over the course of a year. I got a customer that ordered ProBio 5 and BioCleanse. But what I noticed is I would lose like 30 to 50 followers almost immediately by doing that. Mm-hmm. And I thought, that's not good. That's turning people off. And then what was really the nail in the coffin for me is when I followed someone and they reached out to me, and it felt so weird. And I was like, ooh, what's she selling? What does she want? This is awkward. And so I thought, I'm going to stop doing that. You decide if it's awkward for you. If someone reaches out to you and that's not awkward to you, then don't worry about it, because you're attracting like-minded people. But for me, that felt a little bit awkward. And I thought, I'm attracting people like myself. And if it feels awkward to me, it probably feels awkward to them. And they're unfollowing me when I do it. So I'd rather keep them around and show them about my life, tell my story at least once a week, my personal story, tell a story of someone in Plexus that I think is amazing. I really try to share 2 testimonials a week. And then every once in a while I'll throw in something about product information inside of a post that has nothing to do with Plexus. I'm talking about my son, but I'm like, and gosh, I love that I don't have to eat my feelings anymore. Thank you, Pink Drink. Like, it's as simple as that. And then as you do that consistently and with steadiness, then you can see what people are liking your posts, and you can follow them back, and then you can get to know them, and you can relationship build by commenting on their posts. There's a friend that I've made over the last 6 months on Instagram with a lot of influence, and I've just been watching and getting to know her and genuinely enjoying watching her account. And I've never seen her post anything about what she's struggled with. And then she wrote a post this last week about addiction and things that have really struggled with her. And for no other reason than, hey girl, I want to hear your story, did I reach out to her. And she shared with me her addiction, and it was not what I thought it was going to be. And you guys, Plexus is going to help her. And I am now sending her samples today, but because she's been watching my stories and I've been watching hers, and I've been commenting on her posts, and she's been liking mine, we now have this friendship over social media that we've developed over the last several months that is helpful, that helped me now have the relationship to share with her. And yes, I always follow back the people that I don't follow back everyone, but if someone is commenting on my stuff a lot, I'm going to go follow them back, because I want to know about them. Why do they like me? Why do they find me interesting? Maybe I'm going to like them too. And so it's just like when I always tell people, Instagram is my playground. Come play with me. But that kind of sounds weird when you say it that way. So I didn't mean it to sound like that.
Okay, I have one more question that's not Instagram, but you got to answer this for me.
Okay.
And then I'll let you go. So your team has been in momentum for a very long time, right?
Yes.
So when you sign somebody, and I know you do a lot of Fast Start Gold, I just know these things from being with her for a while. How do you get people going off the ground? You know what I'm saying? Like, can you just tell us a little bit about that? How you keep your team in momentum, and how you get those when you sign people and they sign people, how you get them going immediately?
When I was senior gold, actually, I was a gold ambassador. I watched a video by Sarah Taylor that said silver in 7 days. And I remember calling Brooke Hemingway, that's my sponsor, and I was like, it can't be done. How can you get someone silver in 7 days? And this is back when it took 3 weeks to get our products, you guys. This is like, I built my team to Emerald in the middle of the first apocalypse. Okay, back office apocalypse, when it was taking 3 weeks for people to get their products. And we were ranking up when people didn't even have their products. We were ranking up because their auto ships are going through, because we were running like customer service out of our pantry. We were like, okay, we'll give that person that Triplex till their stuff comes, and then it'll come back, and then I'll trade you my Slim for your Pro Bio 5. And it was like insane. Okay. So when I first watched that video, my first thought was, nope, can't be done. There's no way. And then Brooke was like, well, I think we should try. And I thought, all right, well, I'll practice on the next person that joins. And that person was a stranger from my son's school who reached out to me on Facebook and said, hey, can we have a play date? Brennan and Jaron are BFFs. Her name is Jenny Weilacher. She is a senior Ruby on my team. And her level 1 is Christy Jex, a Sapphire ambassador who I have worked with and trained and mentored because Jenny works at a different pace than we do. And Jenny is amazing and I love her, and she has connected me to Christy. And she works her business and does amazing things too, but just a little bit different there. So anyway, Jenny messaged me about a play date, and I brought up that I worked from home like her husband did. And what did I do? Well, I sell these supplements, and because it's helped me with X, Y, and Z, and that sounds just like what she needs. And then that turned into her sending me all of her info through Messenger and signing her up. And then I thought, what do I have to lose? I don't even know this girl. Like, it's a stranger. She just gave me all of her information. And so I said, hey, would you post a 2-liner on Facebook that says, hey guys, I'm trying this new supplement called Plexus that helped my friend Emily have better sleep, more energy, and get rid of her sugar cravings. And you guys, Jenny Weilacher fast started gold 30 days later. And Christy Jex was one of her 7 level 1s of that 20. So I didn't believe it could be done, but I did it anyway. And asking people to post the day they order is my number 1 lottery ticket every single time. And that's all it is. It's a lottery ticket. Sometimes you get lucky and sometimes you don't. And it's what you do when you don't that determines the success you will have. Because when they get nothing, you say, oh my gosh, girl, probably nobody saw it. I'm sure nobody saw it, right? Like, I have friends with massive influence who they've posted at the wrong time of day, and it just, nobody saw it. Nobody commented. And so I was like, gosh, have you thought of anyone like your mom or your sister or your best friend who is tired or craves sugar or doesn't like to be bloated? I put these triggers in their mind. Just like you plant seeds for the products, you need to be planting seeds for the business. And you don't do it by saying, let's get your products paid for and help you get to silver. You start by saying, do you know anyone who's tired or craves sugar or needs more energy? And they go, yeah, I mean, gosh, my best friend is always super tired. Do you think it could help her? Yeah, I think it could. What if you called her on the phone today? What if you called her on the phone and said, hey, I'm starting this stuff that's supposed to help with energy. Would you want to try it with me? Right? That's not salesy. That's not pushy. That's just caring about a friend, and you are triggering them to do it. So I want you to always remember that silver is the gateway to diamond. And silver is a jargon term to people who don't know what plexus is. So I don't ever say silver. I say, do you have a couple of friends who this could help with X, Y, and Z? And then I follow up with them about it. Like, they say, oh yeah, this could help my mom or my sister. I make a note on my planner. And then when they get their products, I go, hey, by the way, did you ever call your sister? I've been thinking about how you said she's always tired. Could I send her a sample? Right? I'm tap rooting. That's called tap rooting. And as you do that consistently, you're going to find people who actually do sign up their mom and their sister and their best friend. And oh my gosh, you have a silver ambassador. How exciting. And when someone enrolls 1, I say, girl, that is so awesome. Have you thought of anyone else? Because I don't know if you know this, but if you sign up 2 more people, your products are totally covered this month. Man, what would you do with $175? That's something that Rosalind Payne taught me. Instead of saying, get your products covered, she says, what would you do with $200? And then they're not thinking about, oh my gosh, I don't want to be salesy and I don't want to be pushy. They're thinking about, well, I would go to Target and I'd buy the winter coat that I want to buy for my son and the boots that he needs, right? Or they're thinking, I'm going to Nordstrom, girl, because there's a pair of shoes that I want those Tory Burch sandals. And if I had that $200, I could buy them and my husband would not be bugged that I spent $200 that we don't have. This is what most 78% of Americans cannot go just buy something for themselves because they are living paycheck to paycheck. So get them thinking about, what would you do with $200 a month? What would you do with $500 a month? That's relatable enough for most people. If you have a highly successful business person who is an A-lister, I want you to share numbers. Girl, I made $45,000 last month. What would you do with that? And then they literally say a swear word and they're on board. For real. So be aware with who you're talking to and plant those seeds.
Awesome. Thank you. So y'all can now know why I love Emily. And I was just listening to all of her stories and some of which, I knew about her. And she loves well. She's a relationship person. And, we talk about that all the time. Lexus is a relationship business. And you can see that through Emily. She loves well. And so she's very successful. Y'all follow her on her Instagram because you can see what she does and how often she does stuff and all of that jazz. And really like watching her, she taught me how to do a story because I had no clue how to do a story. But she is like just amazing at Instagram, amazing at all things. But like we're talking about Instagram right now. So anyways, thank y'all all for being on. Emily, thank you a million times for spending time with us this morning. You know how much I appreciate it. And y'all have a great day. I'll put the recording up when it's done. Bye, guys.
Love you, Beth. Bye.